Bullies make bullies, but someone has to break the cycle. Okay, I'm gonna give you a little bit of story time. So when I was younger, I used to have a bully. I was in, honestly, this is kind of crazy, but I was like nursery, elementary age. And so once I got into like about elementary age, I had this bully, and stuff was probably going on in his life at the time. We're good now, but at the time he would pick on me, little things, say things, do things. And I remember, like, when I used to look back on it, I was like, man, like, that guy was so mean, that guy was so mean. And then I was in the office one time, kind of reporting it, and my parents were there. And then I was asked to step out. My parents talked to the principal. Then when they left, later, I was having a conversation with my mom, and I brought up the bullying scenario, right? And my mom was like, don't you remember? Like, in that moment, the principal told us whenever you stepped out the room that you were picking on a classmate. And I was like, I was? And she told me who it was, and I was like, I didn't even remember that. So taking accountability, once I was older and having that conversation, I reached out to that classmate and I was like, hey, I just found out or remembered that, like, I bullied you when I was younger, and I just wanted to apologize because that's not right, and I apologize for anything or any way that might have affected you. Here's the thing, he didn't even remember that it happened. He said, you did? You picked on me? Bro, I don't have any memory of it. And I remember thinking to myself, this is interesting. I knew that I had to take accountability because I knew that it was below the standard of how I treated people at that time. So if it's below the standard at that time, then also when I was younger, that was not okay. But that's one of those things, bullies make bullies, because it's like when you're hurt, it's easier to hurt somebody else to feel like you're relieving some of what you're dealing with. But when you take accountability, you say, hey, look, I know what I was going through at the time, but it does not justify treating anybody else in a way that is below that standard that I hold myself to now. So taking accountability was one of the greatest things ever, because he said, actually, like, I really appreciate you reaching out and saying all of this. I don't have anything against you. I actually don't remember what you're talking about. But it was important in that moment for me to break the cycle, because I couldn't go on and carry that bullying cycle to somebody else. But if I didn't take accountability then, it would have been easy to do it to somebody else.